Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back. So follow along with me today. I'm going to be showing you how I do my juicing. Alright guys, so I have separated, I'm going to do two different recipes. So I've been kind of under the weather this week just because if you're in Georgia, you know the weather has been flip-flopping around. So I had got like a little like cold, so I wanted to do like an immunity juice to kind of like give me some more nutrients like vitamin C to kind of boost up my immune system to kind of fight off like the cold, you know, the flu. COVID still going around. So one of the reasons why I like to juice is because you can get the nutrients way better than taking a pill or the other way I do get vitamins is sometimes I do go and do IV therapy, but I definitely like to juice, and I'm kind of on this fresh kick without any of that extra BS because I'm on a fitness slash wellness journey. So join me in doing some juicing. So I've already prepared, rinsed off everything and got it together. So I am going to be juicing. I'm going to start off with my immunity one so that way you can kind of see. The juicer that I'm using is I'm using a Nama juicer. Now, I spent some change on this juicer now, but I really like it. Like, it's better than any juicer that I've had. What I really like about it is I don't have to do any cutting up. Well, as far as like the vegetables, you know, other juicers you'll have to like cut some of this stuff off or kind of cut it down, whatever. But with this one, you can kind of just toss it in there and it'll start juicing for you. I do however have to juice the oranges and the lemon like separately with this. I had tried to put the oranges in here one time and it just didn't, like, it was so pulpy. Like the juicer, I felt like it was struggling to juice the oranges. So I'm going to be juicing the oranges and the lemons by hand, and the carrots and the ginger I'm actually gonna toss in there. So I'm gonna do oranges, lemons, ginger, carrots, and some apples to kind of give it a little bit more sweeter taste. I'm not a huge fan of oranges or lemons, but oranges I can do it, you know, by spell, and if it's mixed up with something else, then it is not a huge deal. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to toss in my apples in here, and then I'm going to toss in some of these carrots. I'm actually going to kind of break this a little bit to get it in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and break a little bit of ginger. I try to use ginger sparingly because ginger is has a very strong and spicy taste. So you don't really need that much ginger. So I'm just gonna go with like this. And turn it. So I'm just gonna turn it on. And now you can see it working. So while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna come over here and I'm going to cut some of these oranges so that way I can juice them. And I'm going to put it in here because I want my recipe to be mixed with everything. I don't want it to taste lacking, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get the oranges started. So I guess while I have this going on, I can kind of do a little TED talk while I'm juicing. So if you've watched a couple of my videos, I have been talking about basically being intentional when it comes to like dating and friendships, right? So I went out the other night, and I went out with a friend, and this friend, I felt like she did something that kind of like hurt my feelings, right? And I hadn't talked to her like in a while about it. So we decided to go and get some drinks and food and dinner. And so when I tell you like the power of communication is like incredible, I kind of, we caught up first because I didn't really want to, y'all kind of got that back in there. We caught up first because I just didn't kind of want to go in with the heel, I wanted to kind of soften the blow a little bit, just genuinely like catch up because I hadn't seen her at all this year. I saw her last year, so this is my first time seeing her in the new 2020. So after we had a couple of conversations, we caught up and everything. I kind of went ahead and just, went into, how I was feeling. And when I say like when I got started and I had said what I was upset about, it's like I really didn't even have to go far because she already knew, like she had a feeling that I kind of felt like my feelings were hurt a little bit. And so she, she apologized. She said she was happy that, I brought it up, and she kind of gave me her reasoning for, why whatever happened. But what I can say is that I'm just happy that, we talked about it because I'm actually happy about myself, y'all, because old me would have just been like, oh, this is how you do your friends. I'm not with it. I would have had a conversation. I kind of just would have just stopped talking to her and just kind of left it, where it was, our friendship or whatever. It just kind of would have been in a bag. So when I say that I'm just proud of myself, I'm proud of the way that the whole thing went. Like I was able to express myself without, getting upset. Like I wasn't arguing, I wasn't cold. It was just kind of like, hey girl, so I wanted to talk to you about something. And, I just kind of like launched into what I wanted to talk about. So I would say like my advice to you guys is, communication like is key, like to relationships. And I could have easily like missed out on a good friendship if I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to her no more. It is what it is. She should have known, how she made me feel, that sort of thing. But, you can't have, if you are really trying to build relationships with people, you can't just kind of, have that attitude. You have to be willing to put in the work. In relationships, no matter what type of relationships, it takes work. So I definitely want to say that I was super proud of myself, and I was proud of her too for being receptive, because as soon as you start saying, hey, I need to talk to you about something, some people instantly just kind of shut off. They just like, oh no, I don't want to hear this. Oh guys, I almost cussed. I'm trying to keep it PG up in here, but some people just instantly like just get turned off. They kind of like, no, I'm not really interested. Like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't do nothing wrong, blah, blah, blah. So, I have to commend her too, because she was very open and receptive, to hearing, what I had to say. So I'm happy, with the outcome. So yeah, guys, just, work on communication. If there's something, that's bothering you, let the person know. Because sometimes in my instance, I think she knew, but everybody don't always know, and people don't know like how you feel unless you communicate them. So definitely work on, just communicating. And one of my things I do is I don't ever like to have like a serious conversation like when I'm like upset. So I have to take like some time to kind of, just process what happened, and how I feel about it, and go from there. But yeah, don't be afraid, to speak up and say, how you feel and what's bothering you, or what do you feel like can change. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I have a dog, and he's doing some strange things over there, and that's what I'm looking at. So yeah, and then too, on the flip side, we all could practice like just being better listeners, like just being like, are you open? Are you receptive? Like, do you make people feel comfortable with being able to talk to you about things? Like, you also, just like you're a good talker, a good communicator, we all have to be a good listener as well. So I'm gonna go ahead next and juice this lemon. As you can see, y'all, like, that recipe was fast. Like, this juicer be juicing fast. It's juicing faster than me trying to manually juice these lemons. Ooh, Lord Jesus. Some with my allergies, but I'm definitely gonna do some research. I'm gonna research this juicer and see, like, have anyone had any success juicing like citrus. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Citrus bothers my allergies, and this lemon is so strong. Like, I feel like I want to just sneeze right now. Like, so if y'all hear a couple of sneezes, y'all know this citrus getting to me. Yeah, this is definitely not my favorite part of juicing to do. It's definitely my least favorite. Alright, so now that I have a good amount of orange juice and lemon juice, I'm going to actually just pour a little bit of the juice that I made. Well, it's just a little. Go ahead and get it all in here. Like, as you can see, man, like, look at this. Like, all of this gunk, right? And then you only get, let me make sure this is back. So you only get like a little bit of juice. So it's interesting. Like, look at this. Yeah, just from y'all see those carrots and stuff that I had. So I'm gonna juice like one more. I'm gonna juice one more orange, because I have a feeling that it might be, I put kind of like a lot of ginger in there, and I have a feeling that it might be a little spicy. I've added 3 apples. I did 3 apples, that bag of carrots, that little piece of ginger. I did 1 orange, 1 lemon. So I'm gonna add an extra orange. As you can hear, my dog is now on a on his zoomy rampage. I call it like a zoomies, where I don't know, like, he gets this burst of energy and he starts like running around like in circles back and forth. He makes these weird noises. You can probably hear his nails scraping across the floor right now. So he's like the dogs do weird things, that's for sure. Like I have a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. Oh, I know. And I got him summer of, when did I get him? Summer of 2021? Yeah. I got him summer of 2021. Like I always wanted a dog. Growing up, like I begged and pleaded for my mom to kind of get me a dog, get me a dog. I really want a dog. And she's like, no, you guys aren't going to take care of the dog. You're not going to be responsible. And I'm just like, how do you know, Mom? Like, how do you know if I'm going to be responsible? And like, y'all, so one time, I almost got a dog from her, like almost. So I'm from, some of you don't know, like I'm from Macon. And it's kind of like like an hour and a half south of Atlanta. And so we drove up, like we would frequently like drive up to Atlanta growing up, because I mean an hour and a half is really just not that bad of a drive. So we would frequently like drive here to Atlanta to like go and do things, to go out, that kind of thing. So we happened to go to a mall this one particular time, and we stopped by the pet store. So of course, you know, I'm like, Mom, let's go in this pet store. Like I want to look at the dogs. So I'm looking at these dogs, you know, they're in the little crates in the window where everybody can see these dogs. Like you can see the dogs see you. So I'm looking at the dogs and I'm like, oh, they look so cute. Like, oh my God. Mom, like, I really love this dog. I'm like, oh, look at the faces. Like, the faces of the dog, like, they're saying, like, come take me home. Take me home, Mika. Take me home. And so, like, she literally, like, you could tell she was contemplating. Like, I feel like I almost, like, had her. She was about ready to say, okay. But then, like, my aunt was there. And she was like, you gonna drive all the way back to Macon with that dog in your car? Like, what are you gonna do with the dog? Where are you gonna put the dog? And she was like, my mom was like, you know what? That's Friday. That's a long drive. And I'm just like, literally, like, y'all, like, my face, I'm just kind of like, wow, like, why would you block me? Like, I almost had this dog. Like, we could have bought the dog first, and then, you know, we figure it out, you know, how we gonna get this dog later. And it's crazy that, you know, my mom, you know, her reasoning kind of was like, oh, well, we're not going to drive an hour and a half this dog and blah, blah, blah. But my dog, like when I got him, I got him from a breeder that's in North Georgia, and he was like an hour away, and I had to drive an hour, you know, back home to, you know, with my dog. So it's just kind of funny that, you know, that was her reasoning. But actually, like, the drive really wasn't that bad. Like, I had brought my niece with me, and at the time she was like, what, 8 or 9. And so at first when we were leaving, I was gonna let you know she wanted to hold him and all this, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm driving. You know, if you're gonna hold them, you know, you gotta really hold them. So the dog kept getting away from her. The dog kept wanting to climb where I was while I'm trying to drive. So eventually I'm like, okay, this is just not gonna work. And she's kind of like scared of him too, like at the same time. So it's like she's kind of like trying to, and he was so small. Like when I first got him, he weighed like under 5 pounds. He was so tiny. And yeah, I'm gonna get the rest of this juice that's accumulated. But he was so tiny. Like, he was just tiny. And I was just like, all right, this just not gonna work. So I had to like pull over in a parking lot. Luckily, I brought like his travel carrier. When I say I bought everything in anticipation for this dog. Like, I was so excited. I didn't know what I needed. I just kind of like just bought everything. I'm just buying stuff left and right. So I brought his carrier, his travel carrier with him, and so we kind of like just scooped him up in the travel carrier, and we were able to kind of, from there the drive was smooth. But yeah, guys. So I have about 2 oranges and 3 lemons, and I'm just really not. I just don't want the. I just don't want it to be too much. Well, I kind of want to go ahead and like, especially these oranges, but I might save them because oranges and lemons keep long, so I'll probably save it. I might just go ahead and just juice one more apple just so I can make sure it's like sweet, because it's hard for me to drink this stuff if it's not sweet. So go ahead and juice one more. Want to get it nice and get this nice and full. Alrighty, so I got it nice and full, guys. Look, here's my immunity. So I'm just gonna pour it here in one of these mason jars. And I gotta wrap the lid. Alright. Yeah, so when I make my juices, I just keep them in the mason jars. And seal them up to kind of help keep them as fresh as possible. And so this ended up being like a Serena and a baby. And so let me wrap these lids. So what I do is when I'm ready to have a juice, I just pretty much like, I usually drink like 8 ounces at a time. So I think these are like maybe 16 or 12 ounces mason jars. I'm not 100%, how many ounces these are, but I just typically just get like a whole glass and I pour it into like an 8-ounce glass and drink like an 8-ounce juice at a time. So I am going to clean up a little bit and I'm going to wash this out because my next recipe I'm going to be using strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and probably the rest of these apples that I have. And I don't really want to get that citrus, tangy taste. So I'll be right back and clean up a little bit. And then next we're going to do the second part of the recipe. Alright guys, welcome back. So I did do a little bit of cleaning. So next I'm going to get started with my second recipe, where I want to do apples. That in here. Start off with one because they're kind of big. And then I'm going to dump these strawberries in here. So the reason why I'm doing like a fruity one is because I like to make cocktails. And so I wanted to start making cocktails with fresh juice instead of buying, that juice out the grocery store. Maybe these strawberries are gone, they have died. But instead of like buying those juices at the grocery store that has all that yucky ingredients in there. I'm trying to eat as clean as possible, and then too, like, I'm already drinking, so it's kind of like, what's the purpose of me adding like junk in here when I'm already drinking alcohol? I might as well try to make it as clean as possible. And I'm not a vodka water or vodka soda type person, and I know a lot of people that try to watch the calories, that's what they drink, but that's just not for me. So I want to try something like a little bit healthier. So I'm gonna see how, this is my first time like doing an all fruit juice too, so I'm excited to kind of see how this turns out. But I don't think this juice is going to be that much, so I have 2 mason jars just in case. Alright, so I got it a little bit down. I'm gonna turn this off, and then I'm gonna add the rest of my apples. I love the color of this juice. I can't say that. I do really like it. It's this deep purple one. I'll show you guys, because I don't know if you can really see it from here, but I'll show you. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and tidy up while I wait. So it looks like it's a little stuck. Let's see. There you go. Alright guys, it's almost done. I cannot wait. Can you hear like how this juicer isn't that loud compared to like those cheaper juicers? Like I said, like the juicer, I spend a little money on it, but they do, like, if you go to their website, they do have what is it, Afterpay, Klarna, one of those, you know, you can pay in for, I think Affirm too. And so I was able to get my juicer like doing that, just pay like, you know, $100 or a little over $100 every 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. But when I say like I love this juicer, like this juicer like is hands down one of the best juicers I've had. So, and it works very fast because as you can see, I am all done. So I'm just going to pour this in here. And actually I might have to get a 3rd mason jar. I didn't think I was gonna need one. Oh yeah, this one's got to the rim. Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to, I still have that other one. I think I'm going to mix it in with this and have a mixed one. Just because I just don't want to waste getting another small one when I can kind of mix this together. Alright, and we're done. So this one consists of blackberry, blueberry, strawberry, and apple. So thank you for coming to juice with me. I hope you guys, you know, enjoy the video. And then also, guys, I cannot talk. Oh my god. So I definitely hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the chit chat, you know, that we had. And since I'm done, I can show you guys the dog. Yeah, I'm gonna be on camera. So this is my dog. His name is Patronus. So this is who you may have heard nails clickety-clacking on the floor, or making those grunting sounds, or running around. Like, this is him. Say hi, Patronus. Say hi to the camera. Say hey to YouTube. Say they want to see you. Say hi. Hi. Alright guys, until next time, I will talk to you later.